early morning and the Secretary of State for Defence arrives in Hammond. In the past, his visits would have been to see the troops on the ground, perhaps checking the new equipment and vehicles that had come into theatre. But now, as Britain is on its journey to leaving Afghanistan, it's shifted. Today, Philip Hammond is in this building behind me here at Camp Shurabak, having a meeting with Afghan generals. And the focus very much today will be on patrol bases, whether they're going to be closing down completely in Hammond or being handed over to the ISAF. On average, patrol bases are closing down at a rate of 1 per week. In 2011, there were 137 PBs in Hammond. Today, there are 23 ISAF PBs remaining. So far, during Op Herrick 17, 16 bases have already been closed or transferred to the ANSF. And by the end of Op Herrick 17, there will be only 14 bases remaining, including Bastion. Due to redeployment and the volume of kit and equipment that will be moving back to Camp Bastion from PBs, what's called a reverse support chain processing area has been specifically built. In this compound, materials are returned, such as tents, camp cots and jerry cans. It's correctly checked, packed and put into ISO containers to transport home. But after 6 years of getting it out here, is there enough time to get it back to the UK?
People have really thought about Herrick and the drawdown plan, so we've been given almost 2 years now to get everything out. We've started doing it in terms of proof of good order, so making sure that everything's accounted for and that it ends up at its final destination in a known state and a good state. I think this is probably different from previous operations when maybe they've thought about redeployment a little bit too late. I feel that this has been well planned. The infrastructure that's been put into Bastion is really world class in terms of getting the job done.
Vehicles returning from PBs also need to be dealt with. All mastiffs, jackals, huskies and panthers will return back to Britain, and this is where that process takes place, the vehicle replenishment section. They're serviced to a theatre exit standard, they'll go through a biowash and then make their way to the flight line towards the C-17.
The preparation is predominantly being done in theatre, so the assets are here, the capability is here. We can get them to the flight line. It's the fact that we have loaded so many equipments to theatre over a space of 10 years and we're going to outload over a space of 2 years. So it's going to be a compressed timeline, but I think the entire process from the highest level all the way down recognises that and is planning for it.
The process would seem to be well underway, and as Philip Hammond leaves Camp Shurabak to visit PB Sturga and PB Wahid, he'll be shown just how the drawdown of these locations is being done.